Good early Monday morning. Welcome to the Foolish Tech Show. Oh, how
You
was
sound so
everyone's?
awake.
Yeah, how was everyone's Halloween?
Wasn't bad. I didn't do much.
Did you enjoy Ash versus the Evil Dead?
I have not watched it yet.
What? Came out on Halloween. That was like the best time to watch it.
I went to bed at like 10.
Crazy.
Uh, and yesterday it was pretty much football and baseball from sun up to sundown. So
Aww.
so it's on tonight's viewing list.
I was gonna go out trick-or-treating with the family, but I ended up just staying home, passing out candy.
Fun, fun.
Yeah.
Not suspicious traffic, but you still block it. What the fuck? I mean, what the F? I've been trying to work out snort blocking things, but they make it really difficult to work it out. Just gonna turn it off, I guess.
Morning.
Oh,
Morning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Michael's doing his thing. Who else is not here?
Proctor.
Uh, okay. Busted. What's happening today?
nothing much. How was your Halloween?
Halloween was fun. Well, you know, I showed you the last time the picture. Did I show him the pictures of the pumpkin?
Yeah,
No?
you did.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I thought I did. Yeah.
With
So, I don't know. I mean, that's all I did. We didn't do anything for Halloween. We watched Walking Dead and Ash versus Evil Dead.
What do you think of it?
Ash versus Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Yay!
Awesome. I look forward to watching that this evening.
Oh my goodness. They captured the original Ash with Army of Darkness. They captured that Ash.
Oh, cool.
And of course he's, you know, that good as an actor now. And this is better
At
anyway.
least it wasn't
And
Evil Dead.
then, but with everything going on in the story and the action and everything, they captured the original Evil Dead. Just the feel of it with the stuff, because you know how like the original Evil Dead, it was way more violent than and Evil Dead 2 than Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
You know, Army of Darkness was more crazy, dumb, violent. You know, it was a little less like the originals were a little trying to be. They were trying to be scary in the first one.
Well,
You
in the
know,
first one, yeah, and in
in
the
the
second
first
one,
one
they
they
just kind of
tried to
gave
be
up.
scary. They weren't really trying to be wacky, and then they captured a bit of that though, and kind of blended all of this together, and it's this perfect cocktail of Ash.
Awesome.
And the Evil Dead series. I love it. I love it. Oh, and it's got a lot of that. You saw My Name Is Bruce.
Yes.
It's got a bit of that, and I mean, you know, the story.
I enjoyed that one.
It's a little like that. Yeah, it's a little like that. You know, so except it's Ash instead of Bruce. But
It felt like they really did try to fit in like 2-3 movies worth of stuff into the first episode. So
Oh, wow.
I'm kind of excited that the next episode that they're doing it as episodes, because I think the next episode's going to have a lot more opening like into this storyline instead of kind of capturing all the other stuff that they were doing.
Cool. I'm going to go watch it. I'll see y'all after the show. I'm just kidding.
It really, I loved it. I'm just so excited about it. And Lucy Lawless, she was only in it for 5 seconds, but she's going to be a main character in it. I know from watching
really?
it. Yeah, she'll be. Yeah,
Awesome.
from watching a previous thing. So it's going to have a bit of that Hercules Xena feel to it too, I guess.
As long as they leave out Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, there's no Kevin Sorbo.
Lucy Lawless is awesome.
Yeah,
That's
she's
cool.
fine. Yeah. So, let's see, what else was it? That was about it, I guess.
I like the evil doll. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, the evil doll. I liked the whole thing. I just liked every bit of it, and it was like they fit a lot into it. It was a lot of action and a lot of story. It's crazy how they just packed all that in there.
Like they basically had 2 storylines going at once there. So we're kind of trying to figure that out.
I had planned on watching it last night, but the World Series was on and it went late as fuck.
Well, we know what you're doing after the show anyway.
Going to get coffee. I had 1 cup this morning, and it sadly is almost dead.
Oh no, I have 4 cups left until Amazon delivers me my K cup.
Oh, remember how you were talking about it doesn't seem like it comes out of the coffee maker hot enough?
Yeah.
I figured that out. When you first cut it on, if you get the water as soon as it heats up, it's piping hot. But if it holds the water in the tank all day, it doesn't hold it as hot.
Oh, that's crappy because I always leave it on.
Mine is too, but I wanted a cup late last night, and I had to turn it back on, and it was so hot. It was so ridiculously hot.
I wonder if it's on a timer or has a temperature sensor, and I wonder this because since there's no temperature adjustment, obviously there probably is no temperature sensor. I wonder if it's on a timer or something, a heater thing, and then there's like a maintenance
cuts on and off, and if you get it in the wrong part of the cycle, it's not as hot.
So I was just sitting here thinking, I wonder if I left it on all the time, but when I wanted a good cup, I cut it off and then cut it back on again immediately. It would just reset itself and then heat that crap piping hot and get me going again.
That's the way mine seems to be. I might start doing that.
Well, there's really no point, I guess, in leaving it on at that point. But
well, it could be already warmed up to a certain level, and then you turn it off and turn it back on. Quickly warms it up to that high level.
Hell, I mean, but if it's on a timer thing, since I'm suspecting it's not a temperature based, but we'll see what happens.
But I mean, it doesn't come out like freezing cold at any point, does it?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I was just thinking
the difference between.
Yeah, if I were to do something without a timer, I mean, without a temperature sensor, I would do, logically, I'm thinking that I would have a heat up sequence and then a maintenance, like just a heat, like a warm, sequence when the thing was left on. So naturally, they would probably be a little bit different. The heat up sequence is probably going to be more intensive just because it knows the water's cold to begin with. And maybe it's just that good. Compared to the maybe they really need to do some tweaking on that, but obviously they do. But
well, that's what I'm saying. Though, if you leave it on all the time, it'll at least be at that maintenance warm, and then if you turn it off and turn it back on, it'll be at that maintenance warm and get up to piping hot.
I know, but you're still going to have to wait for the timer, unless it's a sensor based. Is what I'm saying. You'd still have to wait for the timer before it's going to make that cup for you. So you still have to wait, and it defeats the purpose of leaving it on, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Unless
it just makes it that much hotter, but really?
I don't really know how much hotter it is, but I know mine seems to be hotter when I cut it on and fix the coffee immediately after the water's heated up, as opposed to having water that's been in there for 20 minutes or a half an hour warm, or all day at some points if I've been a while.
This is good convo because I needed to know this.
It's time for experiments.
Because I made a cup last night, and it'd probably been sitting off for a good 2 or 3 hours. And I turned it on and made a cup, and I just went to take a sip like normal. Like, ow, that's a little hot. I can't sip that right away.
Mm-hmm. You know, all the technology they got in those things, I don't think they have a temperature sensor in the water tank. All the technology they got in those things,
Either
like
that or they've got it set low.
It doesn't let you use third-party generic K-cups anymore, and it's got the technology to figure that out, but it doesn't care about the water temperature. I mean, really, that's a feature on like a cheap Mr. Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I missed that Mr. Coffee. That was a good coffee maker.
Side note, John, is it still dark there?
Oh, look at that. Dark.
It does look dark outside.
Raining. Yeah. It's like cloudy.
Oh,
Don't you have tin on that window behind you too? On the door?
Oh, it's that window has a tint. It's like tinted. So that because the especially in the summer, the sun comes in actually all the time, but you know in the summer it's most intensive right in the room on the bed. So like the sun comes up right over there, so it'll come through that window and just blast your ass and bake you like a potato.
Oh, I was like, that is so weird, the difference between the sun being all the way up here,
Yeah.
still dark
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. I kept thinking like for a while I was like, because like during the summer I had the door shut and the AC's on, and I was like kind of depressed a little bit because I felt like it was not as dark as it. I mean, it was not as light as it was, like that sad seasonal something depression when you don't get enough daylight, and because I had all the other blinds shut at first, or close to it. And then I had to start opening everything up in here because that thing was producing no daylight for me. And it took me a bit to realize that, though. Until I actually looked at it and I was like, why is there no light coming from this door?
Yeah, 'cause I know personally I'm not used to having windows in my home tinted.
Yeah. None of the others in this house are. I can think of a couple that need to be, but none of them are.
They are in this house.
Now, like we have above our sink, we have some windows with blinds, but then above that is another set of windows in the vaulted ceiling bit, and it's got no blinds. So the sun comes through that thing, and it's like right there too on this wall. So the sun comes through that thing, and you can't do anything in the kitchen in the morning if it's sunny. There's no breakfast for you. It's you gotta like get in there and work quick and get out quick, and you're blind while you're doing it. And we can't get blinds up there. It's like we gotta climb up there. I don't know. We'll have to do something about that.
Just throw it.
Anywho, why are we talking about this? What's happening today? Hey Proctor, good morning.
Morning. I'm researching your K-cup thermostat.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, you can tell it's Monday morning here. No one's really doing anything.
I'm hogging up all my time with my new nephew until I go home tomorrow.
I see that little youngin.
Yeah.
Is it still breathing?
He is still breathing.
Her twin sister continually asked if it was still breathing. I was telling Johnny she should come up with new answers for it. Like, unfortunately.
Perhaps.
Or like just be like scared, like, oh my god, no, it's not. It's not. Oh no, what do we do?
It is.
Now you're calling it.
No, it is wrong. I'm calling him it. He's so tan and makes me look even whiter than I am.
Aww.
He was 8 pounds, 21 inches long, even. Like, no ounces and no, like, half inches or anything.
Weird.
Hey, Undertaker, he's in the chat there. He said, blue is a good lip color.
Talking about the dead baby.
Oh.
Ouch. Yeah, I gotta get in the chat here.
Well, I do have some interesting things I've come up with. So, back on my PF Sense box this weekend, I was playing around with PF Blocker NG, which is supposed to be like the network-wide ad blocker, but it can block just a bunch of stuff. And one interesting list I found, which came from IBlockLists.com, I think. Make sure that's how it's spelled. Yeah. So from IBlockList.com, you can get all these lists to block different things with. And one interesting one I found, though, was this Microsoft one. And what it appears to do, you can see it's the one that's blocked most everything, is it blocks all of the Microsoft communication servers.
Oh.
So like all those privacy people worried about Microsoft talking back and forth to your OS the whole time. Well, A, it is.
Yeah.
12,000 packets, and I think I've only had this up for maybe a day since I last reviewed.
That would be 5 shy of 13,000 packets, and that's astronomical.
Yeah, that's a lot. And again, I think I've only had this up for a day. Here, I can't check it on here without showing off my IP. So give me a second. No, 16 hours. Just 2 minutes under 17 hours.
Oh my God!
So in 17
Undertaker
hours,
said he had to bring his daughter back from his 1-week-old daughter back from that issue. I guess the blue lips. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my, that's horrible, dude.
Yeah, that is bad.
I had with my son. I had spent some. I'm sorry to butt in. I just saw that and I was like, that was rude. We didn't say nothing about that. I'm sorry. I spent some time at a children's hospital, special place, when the first week of my son's life. So I know what's up. I know how it sucks. Nothing was ultimately, everything's great, but still.
That is true.
I missed something.
What?
I missed something.
What do you mean?
You were talking about the IBlockList, and then I come back and Nick's talking about.
I just saw what Undertaker put in chat. He put in chat that he had this. You can in the IRC.
Oh, I'm on my dad's computer. Yeah. I don't have the thing.
He put his one. He had his the blue lips thing. His 1-week-old daughter came back from that, and I just looked and saw that, and I was like, oh gosh, I gotta interrupt and say I'm sorry about that.
You should be able to join the IRC from foolishtechshow.com.
Oh,
I was
okay.
playing around with that last night. I think I got the pop-up thing working.
Anyway, sorry about that. Go on.
Alright. If anybody is out there watching on YouTube and Google+, you can join us at foolishtechshow.com. And yeah, you can join the IRC chat through this, which will open it in a new window, or you can come down to the embedded chat and watch the stream and chat in the same window, depending on your monitor resolution, obviously. But so yeah, that I found that really interesting with that Microsoft list. The
That's
ad
awesome.
spiders, I don't really think are that great a list. But this is supposed to have a version 2 that's going to come out and have integration with EasyList, which EasyList is what AdBlock Plus basically runs off of. So they were talking about version 2 back in January, and still haven't heard or seen any updates on it. So I'm not sure when that's coming out, but it'll be able to do network-wide ad blocking with EasyList, which will basically replace this one. So I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, if anyone's scared about Microsoft talking back and forth, you can block it using this. These are all Microsoft IP addresses. It has 901 in this category. So that's pretty interesting. And yeah, you can already see it's already gone up to 2,200 just in that brief time. I was also playing with Snort, which basically that's supposed to be an internet intrusion detection. And what that does is it gives you a bunch of categories here that you can block things off of, attacks and things. The bad part about it, though, is like you have to test that everything that you normally do in your network isn't getting blocked by any of these rules. So that's why you can see I've gone through and turned off a lot of them. But even still, I was just now trying to download the Spiceworks software, and it was giving me internet issues doing that. So I had to disable it now, and we'll have to come back and figure out how to not have it block things like that. But pretty interesting being able to block these kind of things like bots and compromised servers, malware exploit kits, and basically this is a state level, so it looks at everything that's coming in and classifies it and then blocks it accordingly if so. Yeah, it has been kind of flaky. Undertaker said Snort's been flaky for him with Smoothwall and IP Cop. And it does kind of act flaky, like some of the rules I'm not even sure which categories it falls in, so like I'm having to come in and disable something that looks like it and it still doesn't disable it, so I don't know. I was trying to use ISP IPS policy, which should allow you to pick between these 3 levels of security, which this one says it's supposed to have few or no false positives, and I did not find that to be the case, so I had to turn that off and go manual. And still with manual, it's blocking things that it shouldn't. And it has suppress lists, like you can add rules to suppress that should turn them off, but doesn't seem to turn them off. It still blocks the host. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I'll have to play around with it some more. But I found out that Squid, I had to remove that because it really wasn't doing anything for me and was causing additional problems as well. So this is again where you have to look a whole lot more into this internet gateway setup because it's not nice and easily configured. That's what I really liked about Untangle, but Untangle doesn't offer me some of these same options that I can play around with, and I kind of do want to know more about these settings and how to work with them. So that one's that. I do have the Spiceworks thing downloaded if we want to go through an install of that. Basically, this one is kind of along the same lines of the Internet Gateway, but not really at all. This is more a help desk / network information gathering utility. I could probably get a lot of the same things off pfSense with Nmap and searching through things, but again, it doesn't give it to you all in one nice, easy format. So this is the Spiceworks stuff. I'll go ahead and paste the link in here. And essentially what it does is it gives you a basic ticket system. It's really meant for internal ticketing, not going on as a full ticketing system like Zoho ticket system or ConnectWise or any of your other major ticketing systems. Those are really designed for running your business off of. This one is more designed for running your internal network off of, so people on your network can send in a ticket and get it. But you can wrangle it around to do multiple sites and things like that, but it does take a little bit more customization, at least from previous versions that I've used. I haven't actually used this latest version, so you can have them host it or host it yourself, and we're going to go with the host it ourselves. I've already downloaded that, so we're just going to run through the install here and see what it's like now. Hopefully it won't show off all my public IP addresses. So you can see it's going to install a web server to host this off of, and it does use Nmap and WinPCAP, which if you ever use Wireshark, this would be installed to kind of make your network card promiscuous like. And Nmap is OS and network attached devices identifier kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and do that install. And you can see I'm just running it on a Windows 7 box, so you don't have to have a Windows server. You can just have any computer host it. It really doesn't take up that much processor RAM, at least the previous versions that I'd used before. And it's kind of interesting.
When was your last nap, B?
I just woke up.
Okay.
Johnny did a video call to wake me up.
Okay.
What?
We had played around with this back at our old computer shop, didn't we? Do you remember?
I don't think I ever did there. I played around with it. Well, I did at some point somewhere. I thought it was more along the lines of back when I was with Proctor, but I might be mistaken.
No,
Proctor, have you ever played with it?
I have downloaded it and was gonna test it out, but never got around to it.
Alright, well, looks like the base install went, and it's going to do a little bit more installing. So
More installing to come.
and here it's setting up the rest of the stuff on the web browser, and I think it's going through and scanning my network possibly. Not sure about that side.
They are picking, sorting, and chopping the peppers. Shouldn't be too long.
I'm not sure where they got the whole pepper logo thing. Well, while we wait on this, Spiceworks does have a incredible, helpful community. So I'm sure you've probably come across one or two of their forum topics while you've been searching and researching computer issues. Let's go ahead and sign in here. Yeah. Are we a service provider? Guess so. For some reason that makes me think of like ISPs. Alright, so pretty easy setup as you saw, and looks like we can enroll our mobile devices, discover and monitor our devices, or get our help desk up and running. Let's go with discover my devices. We are looking to do network management, maybe? No, I want to do network mapping. Let's get started. They've discovered 19 devices. Oh, that's incredibly helpful. Thank you, Caroline. Oh, so it has discovered 19 devices on my network.
Hmm.
I don't think all of these are even on right now. But, enter credentials. Guess we'll enter these.
Realized my leg was very numb. Swap.
Don't have any credentials for the other ones, so we'll start. Who is making the water dripping sound? Thank you.
Sorry. Thought I was muted.
Nope. Alright, it's testing accounts. Let's see if it works with the Microsoft account logins. So you can see it's already discovered some of my devices out on the internets, or interweb, interlan, whatever. Nope, it doesn't like those. We just won't do any credentials out of that. Just start the scan.
You have to change it back to I don't have any.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome.
So we'll just start it scanning and see what it finds here. It is kind of nice, and like you saw with the multi-site where you have clients that you can set up, basically you can go in and set this up on one of your clients' networks and then have it connect back to and report to your Spiceworks in your office. That way you can manage both your network and additional networks. And it's kind of nice because you'll be able to see devices, their uptimes, I think, what kind of services they're running, and then if you set up the help desk side, you can have them enter support requests by just signing into this and then shooting you an email, and then it ties to those devices. So pretty nifty on that side of things. Looks like so far the only thing it's been able to scan is my wireless printer. So we got login errors for all of these and random errors for these. So guess we'll fix login errors. This one. Nope, I don't even know the logins for that one. Let's try this one. Nope. So it definitely works a lot better if you're on a domain because you can easily set up an administrator login to be able to log into all your devices at once. Maybe I know the ones for this one. Hey, we got one. Oh, this one is this one, so that one should work with this.
You know, the problem that I had with this back in the day, and it wasn't just this, but it was anything that used anything like this, like level platforms, the RMM software.
Mm-hmm.
At the last place I worked at around in these parts, we used level platforms, and that also relied on WMI. And it was, I think, the biggest challenge of, I mean, the software was great, and even back in the day, I remember the Spiceworks software was great, and it looks good still, but it's not always easy to just get WMI to function on every system on the domain properly, because there tends to be a lot of miscellaneous, slightly broken things about WMI. And that's part of the reason why there's the WMI repair in D7.2. It actually incorporates a lot of the fixes and things that I used to have to automate that, to fix the systems to get WMI working so that I could use applications like level platforms and Spiceworks.
Hmm.
Just throwing that out there. And
And
that fix is in the D7.2. It's in the repair internal functions repair category, and it's like fix WMI, and then there's a bunch of other stuff, WMI, WBIM, decom issues, and it's all bundled into one big thing.
that's also why we have the safe mode for D7.2, right? It disables any of the WMI calls for like the
It
task
does. It
manager.
does, because when WMI is busted, there are a couple of calls that D7.2 makes for the system info tab for that whole page, and those calls will cause, if WMI is busted, it'll cause D7.2 to freeze in those instances when it queries those specific things. Now, it doesn't have to be that just WMI is busted. It could be just something specifically wrong with that part of it. But it's still like some things can work and some things cannot. It's kind of weird. Usually, like the system restore bit will hang it a lot when that's busted. When it checks for that, I'm not sure what area that it's going for in WMI there, but yeah, that's what the safe mode's for, because it bypasses that system info page and everything that would be related to WMI usage, so that D7.2 can start, and you can then perform those repairs like the WMI repair.
Let's try some of these SSH ones. The username for that one. Oh no, I bet that's gonna. Yep, that's gonna need a key.
That's the problem when a software that is used to repair a system also relies on things that can be broken on the system. You know, like
Well,
for example, if we were to, I don't know, rewrite D7.2 in .NET, people have asked me about that, and like in the past, I'm like, no, because .NET is one of the things that D7.2 can help you fix. Now, it really can't do that because if it can't start, because if .NET's broken. So,
yeah.
just saying.
Well, I mean, this would all be taken care of if we were on a Active Directory or if we knew the logins for all these. I don't know how it would it's trying to handle the Microsoft logins because that should work. But like these two, I know I have them set up for private key authentication, and obviously there's not anything for that. So we got a Windows one, we got a Linux one, so let's see what we get from these two.
Well,
Yeah, a lot of the issues you talk about are what's happening during the scanning process.
yeah.
On my network,
But I don't know if you were just, I don't know, I think one of the things you just said, I don't know if it came out wrong or it confused me, but just to reiterate, it doesn't really matter if you're on a domain or not. The WMI feature has to be, like your credentials for that, they have to work. WMI has to work. It's just easier on a domain because you can use the same credentials to go out to all the workstations, and you can force them to,
yeah. What I
access
was saying
those
is
credentials, but
this step isn't relying on WMI yet. It's that actual scanning once you get past the credentials that's doing the WMI. Like that's just regular Windows login stuff.
yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Alright, so we're going to leave those other ones with errors. I don't even know why some of these. Oh, probably my cameras and stuff like that. But so let's skip this. Yep, skip that step. Short on time. Let's go explore our devices. Here you can see some of the other stuff you can do. Track your software and licensings. Back up your network configurations. Set up a dashboard here in a minute. But let's go check out what we did get inventoried. Let's look at all devices.
Hey guys.
Yep.
My mom just called. She's locked her keys in her car on the other side of Greensboro, so I'm gonna go get her. Go get her spare keys from her house and take them to her.
Cool. So with this Windows system, you can kind of see some of the info it gets here. I think events. Oh, I don't even have Flash Player on this VM. Let's get Flash Player. Apparently it does use Flash. Keep that in mind. Actually, I should be able to access it from here, I think. I don't think my DNS resolution was going to work for that. Chrome, are you actually trying to connect to that, or you just make up your own thing? Nope, I guess that's some networking issue on my side. No, don't install that. No, don't install that. So this is some of the stuff that uses WMIs. Finding this software list so you can see all the software that's installed, and you can see when it was installed. I guess I set this system up back in August. So that's pretty nice info to have. You can check out if they have any network shares, so you can lock those kind of things down. Doesn't have any cloud services. You can add notes about the specific machine, and you can attach documents about that system. So if you have like product keys and stuff that you've signed in, you can save it there. I think this does do product keys as well. I don't have anything that would take a product key on this one though, so we can't look at that. I think like if we click in on one of these, yeah, it'll give you more information about that. It even searches the community, so if you have a question about a specific thing, you can click on it and find out more about it from the community that we talked about. Let's look at the Linux one and see what we got back with that. Not much there. Oh, it has less than 5% remaining. Oh, that's probably why it's not working, because it's out of hard drive space. Thanks, Spiceworks. You just made me figure out why my gaming system doesn't game anymore. It's running out of hard drive space. Cloud services. Let's see what this printer looks like. Ooh, you can tell how much ink is left in the printers even. Exact level unknown, some remaining. I think it's because it's actually turned off here. Oh, yeah. So it does have some interesting things that you can look at and play around with and work around with. And you can do reports. And they got all kinds of helpful buttons to help you along the way. So these are some of the reports you can do. You can set up purchase lists and have details about vendors and quotes that you're tracking. It said we can set up mobile devices, so I'm imagining we can either manually input our stuff in there. Oh, hey, Philthex. And yep, Undertaker's right. It's Spiceworks HelpDesk ticketing system. Yep, he's got the link there for you too. Thanks, Undertaker. Kinda. It's like a real basic RMM. It's more just for inventory, and they have a much more focused aspect on doing a ticket system. So essentially, what you would do is you'd set this up on your network, and then your clients can, or you can have your users on your network create help desk tickets and send them to you, and you can manage and track them through that. Then you can install this on someone else's a client's network, and then have it connect back to yours here, and then you can track their network and inventory and manage their tickets and stuff that they submit to you through there, all in one centralized location. But basically, you just have to have like a Windows system that you're not using that you can install it on, and then you can do all of these things with it. It is kind of like a low-powered RMM because you're not going to get a lot of the pushing installs or scripts or anything like that, but you do kind of get the health status monitoring, things like that. So you can see all of the ones that can scan. My antivirus is up to date and what antivirus it is. You can tell some things about the network as it goes along. And then you can see new devices that got added to your network, so you can go in and categorize them, add notes to it, and things of that nature. Plus, it has a tight integration with their community, so you can get tips and tricks as you go along. Still have yet to get Flash installed. Probably be a lot flashier. They have a self-hosted or a hosted version. I've never done the hosted version, so I'm not sure what that's about, but they do have. I've always done the hosted. I've always done the self-hosted version. I've never done the cloud-hosted, so I'm not sure what the difference is there, how that works quite actually with it being on their server. But I would imagine they'd give you like a tool to run on your network that does essentially the scanning and stuff like that. But yeah, we are going over the self-hosted one. Trying to get Flash installed because I was completely unprepared for this. Restart my browser even. No. I mean, if it depends on what kind of features you use. PhilThex says he's getting pissed off with max focus and looking for a replacement. Um, it possibly could replace it, but it would be a lot more work on your end to get set up. So just keep that in mind. You definitely want to play around with it on your own network first, see how you like it, what you can do with it. Again, I'm not getting into a whole lot of detail here because we kind of just ran through the install and checked it out. But I have used it before and it was kind of nice there. I have not ever gotten it to the point where it was set up and a primary focus in any business that I've worked for or even clients that I had. So lots and lots and lots of people actually do use this. So I'm sure there are a lot of good merits to it, and it could replace those things. It may even possibly be able to integrate with some of those. But yeah, we're not going to do that. It's I mean, like everything, pfSense or Untangle or any of it, you have to play around with it for a little while and get to know it, and then go out to deploy it to people. It does have the power behind it, so it could be a full RMM replacement and ticketing system and management of all your stuff. But it's going to take some configuring and setting up and using it around. Like I said, whenever I've done it, I've always installed it and then just used like little bits and pieces of it for my knowledge. So this was one of my favorite things, the new devices. So right now everything was just scanned, so it's all showing new here. But as things get added to the network or taken off the network, I can know about them here and be able to take action on them accordingly. Like if we had people bringing their laptops in and signing in on the network, I would know about it and then be able to check into that device some more and see if it works really, or if it's set up and won't be compromising our network. What we ran into an issue here and why it didn't scan all of my devices is because of the login issues. I'm not on a domain here, so everything is individual passworded and set up kind of strangely. So it's not the best for a non-domain environment unless you have everything set up with a administrative password that you can just use one password for all of them kind of thing. On a domain though, it is extremely nice because you do have that one password to control them all, and you can just install it, put in that password, and it scans everything and gets all those devices. So that side of it is very nice. It'll even tell you BIOS dates changing and things, so that's kind of interesting. Let's see what's under apps here. So we got HelpDesk. So you can see they can create tickets. Let's go ahead and create a ticket here. So this is a ticket, so I just accepted that ticket. And this is what someone would have added, and I can go in and add more to it. The details of it. So you get a base ticketing system here that you can work with. Oh, so these are unassigned tickets to walk me through getting the ticket system set up. But you can see it does give you a lot of helpful information, and they are extremely helpful, both the community and Spiceworks. We work with them through advertising, so both of them are extremely easy. You can see it is ad supported, so that's why we have this ad on the right side. That's how it remains free. But you get a user portal, knowledge base, reports on it, and doing purchases. You can do product reviews. Oh, I don't want to set up a community account right now like that way. You can do product reviews through the community and read other people's reviews on new products, so nice way to find out about new things. I think Crypto Prevent and D72 and those are on there, so you can check those out. And Johnny's a part of the community. Johnny, are you still there? Nope, guess not. But you can find new apps to add there. Are you there? You are there? Johnny? Nope, guess not. So it is quite an interesting.
Hello?
Yeah, you are there?
For some reason, my mic keeps muting. But I am here.
A baby sitting on top of it?
I don't have a baby anymore.
I was going to say, do you have anything to add about the community?
It takes a lot of getting used to, in my opinion.
As far as being a part of it?
As far as all the threads and stuff, it takes a lot of getting used to. But there is a lot of information on there, and it does help.
They got a lot of information and different things you can do. Looks like we can start a thread right from here even, so that's pretty cool. Maybe we can follow ourselves here. Nope, I don't know how to use it. Let's try the search. So yep, we got Crypto Prevent up there. Push IT and Spiceworks. So we can follow ourselves there. So lots of interesting things. You can come and talk to us directly on there, and like I said, Johnny's on there to add new and interesting things to it. So check us out there. Go in and review our products if you wanted to do that and boost up our review ratings. That would be awesome. Or give us your honest opinion on it, obviously. So that is the Spiceworks overview. I really didn't do it justice because I kind of just ran through the install and set it up there. Like I said, I've used it in the past and it did what I needed it to do. It was nice just having it as a easy way to find out what's on the network and be able to manage some of the things on the network. It does work a whole lot better if you have a domain set up on your network and you're using it in such a like that. So most of the places I've used it before, I have been on a domain and like it inventoried all the computers right away. And it's just nice to be able to see like all the installed software, what the versions are, your shares that are available on them, and what they're for. If you do work with the ticketing system and you don't have a ticketing system, any ticketing system is better than no ticketing system. So even if you're just at your IT admin for a company, don't have a ticket system, you just have people walking up to you and saying, hey, my computer's XXX. Set this up, use it on your network. You can configure a nice user portal and then just tell people, go to this address if you have an issue. Fill out a little bit brief information, and then you can work and add details to it as what you've done, and they can monitor your progress on it and things like that. Plus you can attach it to that inventory so that system has all the details logged and recorded about it. That's really where it really excels. It does have multiple site integrations, so again, you can set it up on your network and then have it set up on other clients' networks to do reporting back to yours and go through it. So it's really not, Undertaker said he suspects you'll get a bit of network noise from Spiceworks while it interrogates the network. It really is not that bad, and I do know in the settings you can go through and determine how often it updates things, so you can, and when it does, so you can set it to be during the off hours. I think most of the time I had it set to do its scans at night. While it's doing the initial interrogation, obviously you don't want to set it up in the middle of the day while everybody's trying to get work done, because it will take a little bit of bandwidth off your network to go to each device and do each of the scans and pull some information and power from that system while it's doing it. So definitely something you would want to set up in the off hours to start off with, and then have it scheduled to run in the off hours so that you don't interfere with work throughout the day. So but that was a very good point. Thanks for adding that in, Undertaker. All right, so that is our Spiceworks overview. We may get into it more and set it up more later, and that's about our hour time limit. So we should probably get to our Mondays. Unless anybody else has anything they want to go over, talk about. Nick, Proctor, Johnny.
I can't think of anything.
I don't have anything new or else.
Cool.
Hard at work making progress on the other to kill 'em all thing, and excuse me, just wanted to point out though that what's going on right now is I'm actually focusing on some functionality that overlaps so far into D7X that I want to finish it. I mean, since we decided to put off until more things were in Kill 'Em All than just what's in it now, then or at least having all the DN installer. So since we put all that stuff off until that was going to happen, I started on part of this functionality that ended up being sort of like dumb for me to work on without working on some of the bits that would be in D7X. So I'm kind of like working on more than right now. I'm trying to finish something that's not even going to be in the release before I can even release it. It's like it'll be there, but it won't be visible or enabled. Functionality like that. But it's for the greater good. So.
Well, that answers Phil Fex's question. And I do know that's something that Nick's been trying to keep in mind is I think throughout this whole rewriting of Kill 'Em All, he's basically been rewriting the underlines of D7X and how it's going to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what's happening. So
hopefully
I'm actually working with cataloging scan and file inspection results in the reporting system and getting all that stuff squared away, and that relied on then working on a bit on the D7X reporting system. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Cool. So it should be very functional when it becomes functional.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll even probably have the features there. Oh man, that cat is driving me nuts.
Is that the new one?
Hush! Really? Come on. No, come here, Kitty. Just help. We're locking the cat in. There's a guy. The kitten is a guy's installing a lock on our front door where the lock was the old one was busted, except for the knobby. So we're getting a whole deadbolt and everything now. The guy's down there installing that junk now, so we can't let the cat out.
Yeah.
At least the kitten, anyway. So it's going nuts.
Undertaker said woof woof.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, get the dog in there so that it'll drive the cat crazy.
I know. Oh, well, never mind. I'll save that for tomorrow.
Okay. All right, so that's our show for today. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. It'll be Michael's Day. I'm not sure what he's got online for it. I'm betting he doesn't either, so I'll give him something to put online for it. I don't know, maybe I'll suggest some cryptography stuff to him or doing some encryption things. Maybe he'll be really interested in that with his privacy focus. So check in tomorrow at 10 a.m., see what we go over then. Otherwise, I'll have this on our YouTube if you just joined in, and you can watch the Spiceworks overview from there if you missed part of it. Basically, we just went over the install and starting the scans and things like that. So, good stuff, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Laters, Internet.